Iran launched multiple waves of missiles towards northern Israel on Sunday, marking its first direct attack on Israel since the April truce, which Tehran said was in retaliation for Israeli strikes on the outskirts of Beirut earlier that day. Israeli defense systems intercepted most of the missiles, according to the military. Explosions and air raid sirens were reported in Haifa and other areas of northern Israel, although there were no immediate reports of significant damage. The Iranian attack reportedly involved 4 missile barrages, according to the Israeli military, and targeted the Ramat David airbase in northern Israel. Iran's Revolutionary Guard warned of further attacks if Israel continues its strikes.
Despite the previous warnings of the Islamic Republic of Iran, the child-killing Zionist regime has targeted Beirut's Zahieh by crossing all red lines and increasing attacks in southern Lebanon. We had previously warned that if the crime in the suburbs of Beirut expands, we will attack targets in the occupied territories. The Zionist army must stop its attacks on southern Lebanon and the suburbs, and if it expands its attacks on that region or responds to Iran's actions, it will face more crushing and regrettable blows, and destructive attacks will begin against the regime and its supporters.
The missile barrage came after Israel carried out airstrikes on military targets in western and central Iran and launched attacks on Beirut's southern suburbs earlier in the day. The Israeli military said the Beirut strikes targeted Hezbollah-linked sites in response to cross-border fire into Israeli territory. Local media reported that 2 apartments in separate buildings were hit in Beirut's southern suburbs, which, according to Lebanese health authorities, killed at least 2 people and injured around 20 others. Other Lebanese sources said a wider wave of Israeli strikes across Lebanon killed 11 people and wounded 44.
What's your position?
US President Donald Trump had urged Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu not to retaliate against Iran, criticized the strikes on Beirut, and said Iran's missile attacks would not help ongoing negotiations. Iran has repeatedly said any agreement with Washington depends on a ceasefire holding in Lebanon. However, Sunday's Israeli strikes on Beirut have raised fresh doubts about prospects for a broader regional settlement.